Hey guys, it's Nicole here with Body Mind Experience. I hope you are having a fabulous day today and wanted to make a quick blog about pain and how to problem solve and figure out why you're having certain pains. And this is because I have lived it. I was in massage school and I started to have this horrible back pain in my lower right hand side. And people would say, "Oh, you're a personal trainer, you don't get pain," or "You're a massage therapist, you don't get pain." In a perfect world, yes, that would be awesome. But I do. And it took me a long time to figure out what it was. And now that I have, I wanted to share it with you. And I did everything. I went to a chiropractor, I did acupuncture, I went to a physical therapist, I did stretches, I did yoga, and nothing could get rid of this pain. Yeah, it could manage it a little bit, but it wouldn't completely get rid of it. So I was talking to one of my massage therapist teachers, and he told me that he noticed that I was sitting in my right hip a lot. And he said, "Nicole, you have to think about this, and you have to tell your clients this, that if they have chronic pain, if they have a pain that they're having on a consistent basis, it's a pattern in their posture. It's something that they're doing when they're either sitting, standing, or sleeping. So you're continuously sitting in this pattern or standing in this pattern that's causing these pains." So I started to really step back and take notice to how I was standing, how I was sitting, how I was sleeping, and why this problem arises. So here are some things that I was doing, and you might be doing too. You're at a counter, you're doing the dishes, you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your hands, you're cutting up fresh vegetables for that week. Notice how you're standing. So this is what I would typically do. I'd stand there, I would shift into that hip. So notice I shift right into that right hip where I'm having problems, into that right low back. And then over time, as you start to get lazy, you start to lean into the counter, and you're sitting there. So just recognize, think about what that right low back side would look like right now. It would be really, really crunched up right here, and all those muscles in the low back would be really, really tight and contracted. And so another thing that I was noticing when I was standing is that I would sit into a hip. So there we go again. I would sit into that right hip. Notice that that low back again is nice and contracted. And this is right where I start to have my pain, right in that low back there. So I just sit there, and that's where I'd hang out, because I'm a personal trainer, massage therapist. I'm on my feet a lot, and I would sit into that right hip. And if I wasn't sitting into that right hip, I would be standing. And typically, I would stand with my knees locked. And this is very common. All of these postural patterns are very, very common. So here's me with my knees locked, and notice again, look at my low back. Look at it there. Look at it. It's contracted. It's tightened up. And this is what it looks like from the back. Again, look at that low back. Tight. So where you really want to be standing is with your knees slightly bent. That's where you really want to be standing. So assessing that, making sure you're not sitting in a hip, both feet are firmly on the ground, and you have that nice soft knee. Not completely bent, but just soft. So another thing that I was doing is I was sleeping in a posture that was causing me pain. So this is a typical sleeping pattern. I would sleep with my right leg up and my left arm extended. So again, you could just imagine if I'm sitting and sleeping like this for 6+ hours, all these muscles right here in my low back are feeling tight, and they're sitting in that position for a really long period of time. So where you really want to go, if you're going to be on your stomach, to correct this a little bit, is to try to stretch out that low back. So I'm trying to stretch out that low back now and really trying to get on my back. So I'm sleeping on my back is where we ideally want to sleep, but I understand that that's really hard. So that's another thing that I was doing that was causing me pain. And I was sitting with my legs crossed, typically my left over my right. So you have to think over long periods of time when we're standing in a certain posture, we're sitting in a certain posture, we're sleeping in a certain posture, things are going to shift in our body and going to eventually cause us pain. So this week, really be aware of how you sit, be aware of how you sleep, be aware of how you stand, and recognize if how you are standing, sleeping, or sitting is causing you any pain. Because if you start to shift this and start to just be aware of it, you'll really start to relieve a lot of pain. I will be, the first testimonial of that is that when I started doing this and I started recognizing this, I was initially in pain. I will say that because your muscles are hating you. They're in this comfortability zone where they're always tight. So when you start to adjust a little bit more, initially you're in a little bit of pain, but I can say that my back is finally feeling relief and I'm feeling great. I don't have to take any pills to relieve the pain. I did it in a nice, natural way and recognized what was causing it. So do that for yourself and for your pain, and hopefully you're feeling better. I hope that you enjoyed this information. If you did, please share it with your other Facebook friends, and have a wonderful day. Bye.